Welcome to Travel with Sean. I'm Sean. Today we're in Thessaloniki, Greece.
I love history, so one of the things I love about Greece is that no matter where you go, you're bound to encounter ancient ruins. Thessaloniki is no exception. Just stepping outside of our apartment, we immediately come across these ruins. What's left of the apsidal hall, an imperial banquet hall that was once part of a grand palace complex built for the Roman Emperor Galerius at the end of the 3rd century AD. Looking ahead in the distance, you can see a large round structure. That's called the rotunda. Let's head over there and take a closer look. As we start walking towards the rotunda, we come across this ancient arch just across the street. This arch was also part of the imperial palace complex. It's the Arch of Galerius and was built around 305 AD to commemorate his victory over the Persians, what is now modern-day Iran. Part of the same complex, the rotunda was also constructed around 305 AD, originally intended to be Galerius's mausoleum. But after his death in 311, he was instead buried in present-day Serbia, leaving the rotunda vacant for years before it was converted into a church around 324 AD. Next to the rotunda, we see even more archaeological ruins. These are believed to be the foundations of some administrative and residential structures of the Galerius Palace complex. Moving north from the rotunda, we begin a steady uphill walk through a residential neighborhood. Along the way, we pass a vending machine selling cannabis products. Now that's a sight you don't see every day, unless of course you live in Thessaloniki. The climb may be a bit of a walk, but the views make it all worth it. Soon we reach the church of Osios David and the remains of the Latimo Monastery. This 5th century church is dedicated to David the Tree Dweller, a local monk. From here, we get an even better panoramic view of the city and the harbor. Inside, this little church holds something truly unique. The only mosaic in the world that depicts Jesus without a beard. Dating back to the 5th century, It's an incredibly rare portrayal. One thing I noticed about Thessaloniki, cats are everywhere. Another 20 to 30-minute walk uphill from the Latimo Monastery brings us to the Heptapyrgion, also known by its Turkish name, Yerikul, both of which translate to Fortress of the Seven Towers, even though it actually has 10. Originally built in the 4th century, it was later rebuilt during the Ottoman-era. From the 15th to the 19th century, it served as a residence and headquarters of the city's military commander. Since its earliest construction, the fortress has been integrated into the city walls. Even climbing the stairs for a better view, I have to be mindful of the ever-present cats. I certainly wouldn't want to trip over one. Leaving the fortress, we spot chickens and geese roaming around on the Acropolis. The fortress was built on the most fortified part of the city walls, and here we can see how it actually connects to the walls. Let's go take a closer look, shall we? We've arrived at Portara, the main gate of ancient Thessaloniki. While we can't walk on the wall itself, we can walk alongside it, passing through gates built into it. These two gates, side by side, were added in the 14th century by the order of a Byzantine empress. Nearby we also find a staircase that once led to the top of the wall. And beside it we see the triangle tower, constructed in the 15th century. At this elevation, we get breathtaking views of the city. And of course, more cats. This time, a pair of them hanging out together. Descending, we come across ruins of the city walls. And ruins of an old church, possibly dating back to the 12th century. Right next to it stands the Church of the Holy Apostles, built in the early 14th century. I mentioned earlier that the ruins might belong to a 12th century church, but the smaller structure in front of it is likely a church that dates back to the 10th century or even earlier. Just a few blocks away, we reach the Roman Forum, the heart of Thessaloniki during the Roman Empire. It was discovered in the 1960s when construction crews accidentally unearthed it while preparing to build a courthouse. Archaeologists determined that the forum was remodeled in the 2nd century AD and remained in use at least until the 6th century, possibly abandoned after the devastating earthquake of 551 AD. Continuing our walk, we arrive at the 11th century church of Panaya Chalkion. Its name means the most holy virgin of the coppersmiths, as this area was once home to the coppersmiths over 1,000 years ago. Today the neighborhood is home to Kapani Market, one of Thessaloniki's oldest and most traditional markets. During the Ottoman period, it was a bustling center of commerce, much like a bazaar. And of course you can't visit a Greek market without encountering olives. Greece is famous for its olives and olive oil. The name Kapani comes from the Turkish word kapan, meaning a wholesale market, reflecting its origins as a major trading hub. This bakery stall offers traditional Greek sweets, from pastelli and halva to syrupy favorites like baklava and kataifi. Now we enter the heart of Kapani Market, its butcher section. Here, rows of hanging sausages showcase Greece's love for cured meats. But the real showstopper is the fresh lamb, beef, and pork hanging in full view, a sign of the market's commitment to quality and tradition. Greek butchers take great pride in their work, ensuring the highest quality meats for their customers. Watching these butchers work is fascinating. With expert precision, they carve thick cuts of pork, tender lamb chops, and fresh beef, all destined for traditional Greek dishes. Many of these cuts will be used for favorites like kontosouvli, a spit-roasted pork dish, or paidakia, Greek-style grilled lambs. Here we find something unique, cow feet and tripe. While not for everyone, tripe, cow's intestinal lining, is essential in Greek cuisine, especially in patsas, a rich soup often enjoyed late at night or as a hangover remedy. These boneless breasts and skewered chicken pieces, known as souvlaki, are perfect for grilling. Seasoned with olive oil, lemon, and oregano, souvlaki is one of Greece's most favorite street foods. But Kapani Market isn't just about meat. Fresh seafood is a staple in Greek cooking. Here we find skate, shrimp, squid, and even sardines. Sardines are often fried or baked with herbs and olive oil. Here we have more skate, a variety of fish, more shrimp, and thick cuts of tuna, one of the most prized fish in the Mediterranean cuisine. Thessaloniki's seaside location makes Kapani Market the best place to find fresh seafood. And here's a special sight: Swordfish Head. This fishmonger was excited to show off this impressive catch with its long, sharp bill and giant eye. Swordfish is a popular delicacy in Greece, often grilled with just a touch of olive oil and lemon for the perfect Mediterranean flavor. Beyond the meat and seafood, the market also offers a colorful array of fresh vegetables. Kapani Market is more than just a market. It's a glimpse into Thessaloniki's rich culinary and cultural traditions. Another landmark that catches my eye is the Church of Hagia Sophia, or as English speakers say, Hagia Sophia. It was built from 690 to 730 AD over the ruins of the five-aisled Basilica of St. Mark, which collapsed in the earthquake of 620 AD. Looking at its side, we can see ruins, possibly remnants of the Basilica of St. Mark. Named after the famous Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, Turkey, its name means holy wisdom. From Hagia Sophia, we arrive at Aristotle Square, named after the Greek philosopher Aristotle.
Nice Palamoro. Nice Palamoro.
Following the devastating fire of 1917, an architect was commissioned to redesign the city, envisioning a modern European-style urban plan. Aristotle Square became its grand central plaza. Today, it's a hub for events, concerts, and political gatherings, and a popular meeting point for both locals and visitors. From here, a scenic promenade along the Thermaic Gulf leads us to one of Thessaloniki's most iconic landmarks, the White Tower. The White Tower was constructed by the Ottoman Turks likely in the late 15th century. During its time as a prison, it earned its most notorious name, Kanla Kula, the Tower of Blood. This came from the many executions that took place on what is now the observation deck. Blood from these executions stained the tower's walls. But in 1881, the tower was painted white to cover the stains, and it was rebranded the White Tower, a symbolic move to leave behind its dark past.
This ends our tour. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I appreciate you traveling along with me. As always, I appreciate your support too. Until next time, bye bye.